I have to kiss you and make you forget. Oh, really?
Superman! I'll destroy you! What are you doing?
Another job well done.
Hello, this is the Ultimate Kahuna and my co-host, AC Portrayals.
How we doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about a character today who had a movie come out just recently. And this isn't just any character. This is a character fundamental and deep in the hearts of many a creative, many a man, all the way back in the 1930s. That man, that myth, that character, that legend is Superman.
Dun, 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 dun.
And we are going to be talking about James Gunn's new Superman. And the good, the bad, maybe the occasional ugly, but overall what we think. And I want to preface this with going in by saying there was very few characters that I care about more passionately than Superman, Kal-El, Clark Kent. And so I was very, very trepidatious going into watching this film. I decided to take my kids and watch it, and it turned out to be the right choice. But I figured AC and I because AC, he cares about this character too, and what would be a worry of yours if you had gone in to see this, going in to see this film? What is something you'd be worried about as far as the betrayal, the results, the overall image that is created?
Well, some hopes I had is that it would just be a good Superman movie that checks all the Superman boxes that, they're basically taught in school at this point. Superman stories, that's how to a T these things are. Some of my fears and worries would be that James Gunn would imbue a lot of the modern political bullshit that we're seeing, or change the story to flare up his own ego, or otherwise pollute the IP in some way, rather than just following the source material and delivering a good Superman story. That would be I think a lot of people's hopes, or fears and hopes, to be honest.
Understandable. I was worried we were going to get another situation kind of like Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder can be a good director. He's made good movies and bad movies, both.
Good example.
But with Superman in particular, it's a character he fundamentally doesn't understand. The actor Henry Cavill was the ideal Superman casting, and it didn't matter because the Superman they made him portray in the movie Man of Steel was fundamentally not Superman in almost any way. I can safely say that this film, Superman was Superman. And everybody except for two characters, everyone knows who they should be except for two characters, which will be in my gripes. But yeah, going into this, I was very worried that this would be another, we're going to modernize Superman in a bad way. The idea, you can update the world Superman is in without changing Superman. Superman is the ideal, and the ideal can stand on any ground.
Yep.
That's why modernizing Superman should fundamentally not really change Superman. And I think this film did a very good job doing that, but I was hopeful that we'd get a Superman that actually felt like Superman, and I can safely say that's what this film delivered.
We're seeing that kind of across the board, actually, is a lot of people reporting back the same thing, that, it's a Superman movie, which surprised the hell out of me, Kahuna, because I know
of everything recently, dude.
The interviews, the quotes, the things
behind
from
the scenes stuff people were saying, it all looked bad. All the woke talking points that you worry about, you were hearing behind the scenes
from their own mouths.
Oh yeah.
Which
even Nathan Fillion, who I really like, was talking about telling people to quit being nerds. I'm like, dude, that's how you built your entire career, is being appealing to nerds. Don't say that.
But that leads me to an entirely new thought process, which could be its own video, and that's the marketing, the rage bait marketing tactics. They know, maybe they do understand some of these IPs more than we think, because they have the money and resources, obviously, to get the people they need around it, and then maybe they purposely go in the opposite direction in all these cases just to get eyes on it, just because think about it, if you hate something and you don't really give a crap about it and you just want to milk it for money, then yeah, like, wouldn't the go-to be just to get as many eyes on it as possible, which is piss everybody off in a way that's going to for sure work.
I'm convinced people have, like, groups and marketing groups have already done that. I think we saw that with think a couple years back. Think Hogwarts Legacy. I think they tried to make it like they rage baited that game to hell and back in order to get people to like hate buy it or on the other side to buy it so that they could support it. So I know people bought more than one copy of that game, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah.
Especially with the game not being that great. Sorry.
And bro, as an author, I imagine it's kind of similar. Like, obviously not the same thing, but as an author, if somebody was rage buying multiple copies of the same book just because, like, I don't know, a few people do that, that's worth it.
You see that in comics a little bit. You see people like, oh, I support this guy. I'll buy 3 variant covers.
Exactly.
For no reason.
I'll get this one Beckett graded, keep it sealed forever, because it's the special cover or whatever. I'll read the fuck out of this one because it's the common one. And then here's my backup common one that I'll keep Beckett graded too because it's it's first edition common one. Like, we could do a whole...
Guys, I'm gonna buy this one so I can read it, and I'll buy this one so I can keep it in mint condition. Yeah. Look at my cards. My cards, guys. These are my collector cards, and these are my playing cards.
Oh, you gotta like that beautiful commander. She's the dissident mage.
Beautiful commander, tremendous numbers. Anyway.
Tremendous mana rocks. Okay, so yeah, we're seeing kind of like a rage bait marketing tactic. A lot of people were worried for good reason, because what I was going to point out is the evidence also suggests that people should be worried with truth, justice, and the human way as the flagship, and obviously
it's not brought up in a single time in the like. I've seen this in a few movies recently too, where behind the scenes there's all this woke talk, but the actual content of the movie, it is not like that. It's a misrepresentation. Like the last James Bond movie with Daniel Craig, they're like, oh, she's gonna be called she is the new James Bond. She will now be 007. Like, all of that was rage bait. None of that, like, if it was in the film, it wasn't as it was represented behind the scenes before, like, pre-release of the film. That's what happened here.
That would explain why the James Bond people during the Comic-Con interview recently, they kind of giggled to each other when they were asked if James Bond would ever be gay, and they both kind of giggled. Because it's probably like full throw what you're talking about. That was probably in full force at the time.
Don't say gay and then full throat. Just
full-throated endorsement of the gay community.
Full-throated and very gay. Unbelievable.
Back to Superman. You're saying that there is no truth, justice, and human way. It is the American way? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he doesn't say, it's never said truth, justice, and the American way, but that's the ideal he kind of lives up. He does operate independently of America as a country, but he's always trying. This Superman tries to do what is right. Does he always know what's right? Not always. But is he always putting his best foot forward, his best fist, his best cape, his best fly? Yes. He is Superman. He cares about people.
The main thing was like just the things that they were outwardly saying, like the truth, justice, and human way. Now that could be explained away with initial screenings and stuff like that. Maybe they gauged how the public reacted to it and rightfully saw that they weren't digging that, and they were just like, nope, we're changing that. Totally doable, especially with editing magic. Even last minute, we saw it all the time. What was it, the last Star Wars movie, right? Constant redos all the way up to the end. And that shit was eye-popping still when it came out. It's not like it looked unfinished. Well, like, I mean, if that's the case, then it's safe to assume that they cut all that stuff out last minute, which would explain the good reviews, right?
The reviews are good. I can say it was funny, it was romantic, It was passionate. It was hopeful. It was sad. It was triumphant. It was the things you want a Superman movie to be. Now, to what degree was it? It had me get emotional a couple times. I wasn't bawling my eyes out at any point, but I felt genuine emotion when watching this film, and that's always a sign of especially with a property like this that's so important and fundamental to me. If it draws out emotion out of me, then that's a really good sign. It starts off in a slightly different way than I've ever seen a live action Superman movie start. It's showing this Arctic scene. I'm like, this is very Man of Steel-esque, but I'm still here with it. And it brought up the history on screen. It started off like what was it, 30 years ago, then 3 years ago, then all the way to like 3 days, 3 hours, and 3 minutes before what we're seeing now. And it basically uses that format to summarize what has happened already. Superman has been active and has like come out as a superhero, not like that. He's been here for 3 years. He's considered a metahuman, but he's the only one on the planet that is not human. So there's that. He's been operating for 3 years, and then it gets to the point it's like, oh, he just got his ass kicked. That's what. And then it's like, in 3 minutes ago, he just suffered his first defeat. And then you see Superman crash land into the ice.
Okay, so the whole movie, what you're saying is it takes a meta approach, assuming that the audience, Superman. Superman.
Yeah,
he just lost.
That was a smart choice. It's kind of like the old comics. It wouldn't like explain everything. It's like you know the backstory. This happened, and here we are, and this is the villain of the week. Yeah. It's kind of like that. So it's no cheesy 1930s narration over the top.
See, and something like this is going to be what somebody like James Gunn is going to have to tap into to make it feel fresh if he doesn't want to do some certain other traditional Superman stuff. It's a way that he can flex his directorial muscles, so to speak.
100%. Yeah.
He's like, I'm envisioning it like this, minutes ago, days ago, weeks, whatever. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so it starts off, you see him land, he gets drugged. You saw the scene in the trailer, he gets drugged by Crypto. Spoilers, he's being brought to the Fortress of Solitude, which is really good. The Fortress it's the best Fortress of Solitude we have had in a film.
Damn, James Gunn.
To date. Maybe it's the best, it's the very best since the original 78 Superman. Like Richard Donner's or Christopher Reeve's Superman. It's the best Fortress of Solitude we've had since then.
Well, that one had good vision, but it was suffering from it even had money. It was just technology. Yeah.
Technology and limitations. That's where and that is something. This film is practical in some areas, but there's a lot. It is a modern superhero film. There's CGI monsters. There's CGI world things happening. There's a lot of that, and it looks fine. I'm not blown away by most of the visuals. There's a few moments where I'm like, oh, that looks so good, but that has more to do with framing, lighting, and acting than the actual visuals. The visuals are just fine. If you're looking for something to blow your mind, this is not going to do it. The suit is practical, which is good.
That's cool.
A lot of the sets that are real, they look really good. I'll admit, the sets typically look very, very, very good. The control room at LexCorp, the Fortress of Solitude, Mom Pa's farm is pretty modern. We can forgive that. It's just like a mobile double wide that was turned into a permanent resident kind of thing. I'm like, that's not quite what I pictured, but it's fine. Okay. But yeah, production overall is good. The CGI is good. It's not going to blow you. It's not going to blow you away. The actual design of everything is pleasing as well. I thought I would hate his suit. It's not the best suit, but it's not the worst, and I enjoy the suit.
It's acceptable. The suit, it's here. It's a suit. The suit is.
Some of the vision for what everything should look like, mostly, really exceptional.
Awesome.
I think it's a really good blend of the like animated series, the comics, and like a live action combination. I think it fits. I think it hits a niche that's really, really ideal as
So what
far
would
as
you
just
say-
visual design goes. Production, it's fine.
Well, like you said, really exceptional. That's pretty high praise. What out of 10 overall production, like considering all these things that you just laid on me, out of 10, what would you give the production alone?
With 5 being average, I'm going to say this is a 7.5, maybe an 8.
8.
I think the visual, like I obviously there's like CGI stuff, a lot of CGI stuff, but the overall design of a lot of things, I think was I think the design is where the most of the praise comes in, like how things are meant to look. And then obviously production is also like CGI, how it looks in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you don't like all of the Marvel movies of all of the CGI everywhere, even if it's really good, this is definitely like that. It's a CGI world, which isn't always a bad thing, but it is something to acknowledge. It's like there's something special about a movie that uses old school, well done effects. But this movie is just fine. Like I said, 7.5 by 8 or an 8 based on the design element, like design system alone.
How was like the music and the overall like score? Like, did they deliver like that meaningful track at the right moments?
Yeah, they did.
That can really set it off, even if it's not much. It could just be a slow string, just fading in.
Some of the there are some scenes where the music is adequate, but nothing to write home about. It does the job.
Right.
But there are scenes like, because they've revamped the old theme and emphasized different parts of it. It sounds familiar, but also fresh. And when the theme is when the reworked original John Williams theme shines through. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I'm half-assed just thinking about it right now. It was so, dude. It was good. It was good. Like, if you liked the music from the trailer, you'll like the score of this film. There are some really exceptional tracks out there.
Well, so the music overall, overall music.
It's like it has that 80s, 70s, and 60s pop flair to it that a lot of James Gunn movies do. But it's blended really well with like the original brass and orchestral things that you expect for a Superman film. It combines all of that really well. If you like Guardians of the Galaxy and their music, which I think is one of the better parts of those movies, you're gonna like this film. It's really good. Also, there's a joke about Superman saying he's punk rock and Lois saying, "No, you're not." But yeah, no, it's. He's like, yeah, I like that. He's like, I like all these punk. I like this, and this punk rock bands, and she's like, those are just pop bands. He's like, ah, whatever.
And we'll get to this in the writing section, which I'm trying to save for last, because I found out during the Jurassic World review with Animation Overload that we did. Turns out I need to rework all these categories because I need to think of 5 writing categories, because writing alone is enough to sink or float a movie.
Yeah,
you could have 10s and all these other ones.
Writing involves plot. Writing involves character, and then that kind of ties into acting too, because a really good script is no good if your acting is not good. Is also not good.
Yeah. So we'll save writing for last. But what I was going to say on that scene is that's a good way to have like a female character in a realistic way, kind of shut down a male character, and it's playful banter. And you're also hanging a lantern. There's a lot of things going on with that, and it's not just somebody telling somebody it's not just like a female character telling a male character how bad he is, just for the sake of having that. Right?
Yeah. Lois Lane, like Superman, Lois Lane is she's a hard character to get right, because you either you change her so much that she's no longer the Lois Lane of the comic story, or you portray her without any charm, and then she's just a bitch.
Right.
And I was Lois Lane. She was Lois Lane. She was a good version of Lois Lane.
Final thoughts on the music, the score. Was that like out of 10? Out of 10, what would you give the score?
With Lord of the Rings being a 10.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
With 5 being serviceable but not bad, Cripes, it's hard because like sometimes it is just serviceable.
And
Other
Guardians of the
times,
Galaxy
I'm like,
is not like a 10, but it's like high, right? Because
I'm gonna
that has
say
a good.
I want to say like a 7.5 or like low moments are a 5 to a 6, and high moments are an 8 or a 9.
Ooh, let's give it. Yeah, let's give it like a 7.
But the problem is score is not just score. Score is how the music ties together with the
Yeah.
storytelling and the visuals. And so highs are going to be 8 to 8.5, maybe even 9.
And probably
Lows,
and those would be at the emotional moments, probably, right?
some of them for sure. Yeah.
Next one, just cinematography. This should be a quick one too, because you see it in every scene. There's cinematography going on every second of the movie. So how was the quality of that, like the passive storytelling with the camera, like me and with my I create graphic novels. I like to get into documentaries and animation and stuff too, which we've had conversations about that. But I'm like a huge fan of like Dutch angles. There's like establishing shots,
Creative camera work.
that kind of thing. Yeah. How was that?
There were some goofy moments, but when they're trying to look like a heroic Superman cut like comic cover, they look really, really good. Some of the shots are a little goofy, but it showed like that famous visual of him being cross-eyed and the camera like looking at his face while he's zooming. That does happen, and it's not just for a moment. He looks a little cross-eyed for about 10 seconds there, and I don't know why they kept to that, but after he wasn't cross-eyed, that shot was actually interesting because like you see him like without seeing the land at all, you see him pass through different environments just like just a blur, and it looks really good.
Yeah, super speed's busted for sure.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's busted.
The cross-eyed thing. Oh, the cross-eyed thing compounds for spoiler reasons that I won't get into. But the fighting with Superman is always hard to catch on camera because it's either so fast or so incredible that it doesn't always look good visually on camera. I think they did a creative enough job. There's a couple of moments I'm like, this is a video game, but overall, I think they did a good to triumphant job, depending on the moment.
Okay, triumphant's a good amount. So, like out of 10, you give that a percentage. What would you give it, just for like camera work, cinematography, delivery, and all that?
I'm gonna say 7.5. I'm gonna say 7 or 7. I'm gonna say 7 because there are great moments, but there are other moments that I'm like, why did you do this?
Could be better.
Yeah, so 6.5 to 7. I think that's a fair score for that. There's a great tracking. There's a shot where Lex is walking through the Fortress of Solitude. It's in the trailer, not a spoiler. And it's a tracking shot. It's like circling him, showing the action in the background, very Guardians of the Galaxy style. And he's just walking. He's not involved with any of the action that's going on. And he doesn't blink, but you see things almost hit him, and it looks good. It's impressive. It's very Lex Luthor. Cool. It's very it's fun to watch. Yeah.
And it's cinematic. It's that cinematic.
So we'll put that on the high, near the high end of cinematography, and we'll put Cross-eyed Superman up like low tier.
Yeah, on the low end. Yeah, Cross-eyed Superman, dude. We gotta find that and make a meme. I'm sure the memes are there.
They're everywhere, dude.
So
yeah.
You can see how quick these categories kind of go, which is why I'm saving writing for last, because it's really the one that most people.
It's the one that's most important.
Yeah, but like acting, how did all the actors do? Pretty straightforward, like
Superman.
Yeah.
He's written as a modern man, but with old school ideals, and it's a really good blend because, he I listen to music and it's fun, and he has clever banter with Lois, like when they're in the office and they're pretending that they're not dating, and that's funny because they're like riffing on each other in the office, and at the end of the movie, Chief and and Jimmy and everybody's like the Chief looks at Jimmy's like, so how long have they been a thing? Like 3 months. So they knew the whole time. But
yeah.
But Superman is portrayed as very idealistic, and very heroic, but very human. He feels pain. He gets worried. Like, he breaks into Lex's office to try to get his dog back, and it's not even his damn dog, which is also a story thing. But yeah, no, he portrays grief and sadness and betrayal. There's some story stuff that happens. The way that spoilers, at some point people kind of lose faith in Superman. You saw it in the trailer. People throw a can at the back of Superman's head when he is like one of the world's most beloved figures. That happens for a legitimate reason, which I feel very controversial about the reason. The reason is both brilliant and also terrible. And I can't.
We can get into that with the writing.
Yeah, that's going to be writing. But yeah, Superman is Superman. He's very human. He feels emotions, and he tries to do what's right. You see him as Superman. You barely see him as Clark Kent. He's almost always Superman. So I will say that. So if you don't like Clark Kent, good, because you barely you see him. You literally see him as Clark maybe one scene. Not joking. Yeah. Maybe one. Every other time, he's either suffering or fighting or figuring things out. The crew at the Daily Planet, the best crew they've ever put together in a live action Superman movie. That's
again high praise. There's a lot of high praise with this, man.
Well, there is Chief Perry. He's a really good chief. He's the black version of Perry. I don't care about that. He's been black and white in the comics. There's Jimmy. This is the best Jimmy by a lot. No Jimmy has been this good in a Superman movie. But it also includes two of the other people. It has Kat something, I can't remember her name, but she's another reporter. She's a foxy, big-breasted reporter that's always there at the Daily Planet too. And, she's there and she's great. Then there's the guy Steve. He's the sports guy, and he's douchey, but also kind of also good at his job, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and so this is the best Daily Planet crew we've ever had on a film. And then Lois is modern. She's loving, but also distant and quirky, but not so out there. And she's heroic and unconventional. She's a very good Lois. A very, very good Lois. I was very, very pleased with Lois.
So just to clarify here, the best crew at the Daily Planet we've ever seen.
Oh, by a lot. The only shortcoming is maybe we didn't get to see Clark there very much. Literally 1 or 1.5 scenes. But besides that,
that means that if that was its own category, it would be like a 10 right there. So that's cool. I
give it a 9 or a 10. My biggest complaint is we don't get that much time with them. Also, Jimmy's the photographer and their web guy, but he's also very attractive women are very into Jimmy, and it's very funny because he's the most unassuming guy in the entire crew by a lot.
Yeah. I love when they have jokes like that. They have jokes and all kinds of things like that. I think even Game of Thrones has it, where it's the Smith's son. They one episode they reward him by dropping him off at the brothel, and then the whores end up paying him.
Yeah, it's like that. He does. They didn't charge him at all. He kept all his coin. It's
he's
Brom, get drinks. Tell us everything.
Yeah, that's a good scene. Yeah. Anyway,
it's also metahumans are a very common thing, so it's not weird. There are a lot of metahumans. They don't have the Justice League. They have the Justice Gang but they're not settled on that name. It's obviously set up for the Justice League.
Yeah.
And what I like is that it's characters we haven't really seen in live action, ever. They are Justice League members, but they're very non-typical members. You have Hawkgirl, who is only popular because of the Justice League animated series, and Hawkgirl's great. I like Hawkgirl. You have Green Lantern, but it's not Jones, and it's not Hal Jordan. It's Guy Gardner, the redneck rule breaker, Green Lantern, portrayed by Nathan Fillion. That crew, they're portrayed really well. It was also Mr. Brilliant. You have Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, and Mr. Brilliant. And I've never Mr. Brilliant was good. He was maybe the one of like a more powerful iteration than we normally see in the comics compared to other characters. But he was really good. The actor did a great job with him. Not Hal Jordan, but Guy Gardner. He was hilarious. Like instead, like he would like use the ring to create these giant green embodiments of his will. And at one point, like he's flipping tanks, but it's like a giant hand with a middle finger, like shoving the tanks out of the way, and it's a good time.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. Okay, so overall, the acting, it sounds pretty good.
Oh wait.
What would you give it out of 10?
For some people, it's adequate, like 5 to 6. With other people, I'm gonna say 8 to a 9. Like Superman, like the guy who did Superman did a very good job, but this is also one of the best Lex Luthors we've ever seen. They combine like the manic old school like mustache-twirling level of Lex Luthor, like from the comics or like early Action Comics. They combine him with the sinister, clever businessman who's always manipulating things behind the scenes of like better written versions of Lex Luthor. This is the best. I'm gonna say it. This is the best on-screen Lex Luthor we've ever seen, comparable with Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville, and he was a perfect Lex.
Well, I'm gonna say it's a 9 then.
And it's Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah,
he was. It's both his acting is very, very good, but it's also also like the choices that for how they had him act. Like some of these ideas are so harebrained. You're like, oh, that's like mustache level, like mustache twirling villain level. Yeah, but it's because he's so. It's like someone who's so intelligent that they're no longer sane. Like he's cracked, but he kind of knows it and he embraces it.
Yeah.
not in like the Joker way, not like a Batman villain, like someone who would defeat Superman. He is, and spoilers, he is the main villain by a lot. Every bad thing that happens in this film is orchestrated by him. Yeah, and then the villains are because he has a couple of metahumans of his own. One was created via technology, and another was created via technology but isn't technology. Goes by the name Ultraman, but Ultraman is not the Ultraman from the comics we know. He's more like another character from the comics who's also a Superman villain. No spoilers there. But no, and he was like Superman and Lex Luthor are both very, very
classic
interpretations of both characters.
Classic.
Yep, very,
all
very
right.
pleasing.
Well, overall, I'm gonna. Overall, it sounds like the acting was like a 9.
Say an 8.5. Like averaging out between everybody involved, I'd say 8.5.
And now the writing category. So this is the most complex.
Going into it, people are saying it draws upon a lot upon All-Star Superman, and there's an element of that, but this is not an All-Star Superman story. This is much, much closer to something like Public Enemies, but without the Batman half of the equation. It draws a lot more from that than I would say it does from All-Star Superman. The plot is very, like, again, mustache-twirling villain, but you believe Lex is that guy who do this, and you believe it. You believe his acting. And his plan, all things considered, very clever most of the time. Unfortunately, he puts a little too much faith in things that have a high chance of not working out. But overall, yeah, I see why he's like a megalomaniac, and he absolutely is in this film. And that it draws upon a lot of that. Now, as far as like how Superman is written, he's heroic, but he's still very, very human. He has human emotions. He and Lois, their chemistry is real. It's good. The slight musical, like, love theme is there, and it's slight, but I actually kind of like that. That is one thing. We've seen very powerful Superman in movies, and that's good. And comic Superman is even more powerful in some ways. Often.
Oh yeah, dude, he's like held almost like a black hole in the palm of his hand, and like we saw Christopher Reeves turn back time. Like it goes on. Superman is as strong as he needs to be to beat the bad guy. That's his superpower. Sorry, hold on. I'm
essentially.
gonna say it again.
No, you're good. You're good. And what I'll say about that is this Superman is not invulnerable. He is not. He spends a large portion of this story in a lot of pain, physical, not like emotional and physical pain, which is like basically you can't have him be the invulnerable like Titan of myth Superman when you do that. Yeah, like because he is vulnerable to things. He does need to breathe, but he can hold his breath for like over an hour. Things like that. He does get he gets his ass kicked a couple of times.
You do have to draw the borders, so to speak. You got to draw the outline, so to speak. So and I will agree with Superman like having lungs and like needing to breathe. Like, you know, that's one aspect. You know me with, especially like with the way I write and with my fantasy worlds and stuff. I very much like to imbue real, like some sort of believable or realistic qualities to everything. So I approve of that. Unless somebody comes out and proves...
I do too. Too. And it made you root for Superman much, much more than you do in some other films. That, and then you act like like James Gunn, love him or hate him, he understands Superman. Like even when other heroes show, even when other heroes show up, like example, they're fighting a giant monster. And instead of just hitting the monster, Superman saves people that would have been killed by the monster when the other superheroes attack it, essentially.
Yeah, that's cool.
He berates them a little bit. And it's like, Mr. Brilliant's like, wow, man, let's get rid of this thing. And like Superman's like, no, we can take it to a alien zoo and we can study it. We can find out where it's from. And so he was.
That's Superman as fuck, actually. That's so fucking Superman.
He didn't just kill the monster. He easily could have killed the monster.
Yeah, he's like,
that.
You guys don't understand. Like, I could have ended this right when we got here. I've just been trying to think of like if there's an alien zoo or something this whole time. No, that's so fucking Superman, actually.
Trying to think of a way to get rid of him. It's also that giant monster. It was released the night before, and it was about this tall. And it just kept growing. That's the essence of what it was.
Aliens.
And all of that was just another distraction for Lex Luthor's plot to be successful.
It's particularly impressive to me that actor gave you such high praise for Lex Luthor, because from the outside perspective, I'm not even particularly a huge...
He seems like a Twinkie twit a little bit.
I didn't like it. I was like, I think that's the wrong casting. But if through his acting alone he was able to like make you feel this way, it's like, okay, that's pretty impressive. It's actually pretty impressive. He's a perfect blend of like very high intelligence, gloatful, like very high businessman who doesn't see other people as human almost. He's so inhuman in the way that he treats other people, which is such a contrast to how Superman is, and that's how it should be. But he's also clearly very intelligent, and it's not like he's doing things like spoilers. He creates a pocket dimension, and every time they open a door to it to be able to travel around the world like he does, or to hide prisoners. Well, I'll get into that later. Oh, lots of things. There's so many things you could do with a pocket dimension. Things. Yeah. And that's a simple idea too.
Yeah. It's like every time you open the door to that, you are risking splitting reality in half. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you think I don't know that?
I don't care. Yeah. You're talking to Lex Luthor, bro. Come on. Elon Luthor.
And I would say this is how this story is like All-Star Superman. This version of Lex Luthor is a lot like Lex from All-Star Superman. So consumed by his hatred of Superman that he's willing to destroy everything, willing to sacrifice anything, because he's the most smartest being possibly in the universe who is sentient and not a god. And then he is suddenly confronted with the fact that Superman is all of the things that he wishes he could be, and he isn't. It drives him to such depths of mad, insane levels of "I will destroy you." That it's like, no, I didn't stop you, so I didn't do this to stop you so that I could have this war continue. I started the war so that I could kill you. Like that level of stuff. He essentially, like, small spoilers, he started a war between two. It's very obvious. He started a war between two countries in this insane plot line so that he would be given permission to kill Superman.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's something that a big corporate businessman would do. And actually, hearing you lay it all out, the writing actually sounds pretty tight. So, I mean, overall, what would you give it out of 10 as a whole for writing?
I want to give it a high score, but there's one
you can
move
think
that's both...
it as percentages.
There's one move that's brilliant writing, but also very bad writing. It has to do
and
with...
this review...
Yeah, go ahead.
This review format gives the writing equal weight to everything else. So, like, for example, Jurassic World Afterbirth, which we all know is, like, kind of a stinker, but, like, not the worst movie, technically, because on paper, it, like, blew four of these categories.
Jurassic World movies.
Yeah, like, 4 out of 5 of these categories, it was fucking amazing, but suddenly the writing's bad, and, like, it's, like, terrible. So, like, yeah. So keep that, you know, you don't have to, like, it has equal weight. It's not, like, gonna... If it's too good or too bad, it's not like this.
There were very few moments where I said, "This doesn't make sense. This is stupid."
Yeah,
I think
that's interesting.
I think if you stretched, like the nerd person's like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense." But there wasn't that most of the time. In fact, I think you could say that, like CinemaSins. I'm sure they could find shit. I'm sure they could, because that's what they do. But I was enjoying the film enough that I wasn't specifically looking for that. And when I'm not looking for it, I didn't catch almost anything like that. So I'd say the writing was tight in that way. And it, like they acknowledge how powerful Superman is, and they create and utilize the weaknesses that exist. And it's like, it's fun, like, but it also, like, the writing also does something really smart, because there's been 3 years of Superman action and his exposure to the world that we get hints of in dialogue and in world building. It creates mystique about him, and it makes him feel like he has a past. It's like, they're talking, and one's like, "Oh, Lex, you can't do that." They're like, "To my knowledge, there's no kryptonite left on the planet." And it's like, there isn't. I found a workaround. And it's like, oh, so there was kryptonite that was used at some point. But now it's not here. What happened? What gets people to hate Superman? It wasn't anything he actually did. Lex was able to access some of Superman's information, including the recording from his parents, Jor-El and his wife. But the thing is, Superman had never heard the entire message. It was damaged on the ship that brought him to Earth. So he only heard the first half of the message, translated from his parents, basically saying, like, "We love you more than land. We love you more than this. We have such great, you are the hope, you are the future of our people." Like, all the good things you expect Jor-El and his wife to say to Superman. But Lex got access to that, and he was able to uncorrupt and put back together the latter half of the video. And they borrowed a book from Invincible. Jor-El and his wife tell Superman, "Yeah, you need to start a harem and fuck many bitches, have lots of children, dominate their planet as their leader, and punish harshly anyone who stands in your way. Show no mercy."
Right.
And it was legitimate. And that's how Lex used, like, that's one of the things Lex uses, one of many things, to get the public to basically, at least initially, turn on Superman. And he didn't even have to fake it. It was real. And so it was a very clever story tactic, very clever writing trick, a very believable way in the modern day to get people to hate Superman. But then it also butchers, it invincibles the Kryptonians, which I don't really like. I'll be honest. I like Jor-El being a beautiful, like, inspiration to Superman, and a lamenting figure on a destroyed planet that was destroyed long ago by their own hubris. I really like that about Jor-El and Krypton, and that whole storyline. I like that a lot. Also, Bradley Cooper as Jor-El. I thought that was good casting. I like it.
You can't go wrong with Bradley Cooper usually.
Yeah, he kind of does. He kind of does look like Cal. He kind of does look like the actor they picked. Like the mom has darker hair. I'm like, okay, I can kind of see the features. It looks good. I did always like. I did like of the things I liked in Man of Steel. Russell Crowe being Jor-El was a great choice. I do look at him though. I'm like, you made him? Sure, all right. Brilliant writing choice to make people hate Superman for the plot of this film, but what it means for the world that's been created is upsetting, and that comes down to personal preference a little bit. And there have been versions of Krypton that have been portrayed this way. The newest animated Superman, The Adventures of Superman, which I mostly recommend. It does the same thing. The Kryptonians were conquering like warlords, basically. Same thing. It's actually been the more common thread of Superman's like Kryptonian heritage, pretty much since Man of Steel, actually. But yeah, so that's one thing that I think was brilliant, and I kind of hated it. But writing overall was really good, Mr. Like, also the Justice Gang, which I keep on referring to it as the Justice Gang, and Guy Gardner's the only one who likes it. That's funny. The other, like, Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific hate the name. But, like, they all have different believable responses to Superman and Lois Lane in different times in the film. And I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll also say that Ma and Pa Kent are maybe less they are salt of the earth people, like they are in every depiction, except these ones are maybe less exceptional. Like when you think of salt of the earth, you think of like the best, like normal people you can think of. They're good parents, but they're very kind of bumpkin and kind of a little more bumpkin than you might expect.
Kind of need that bumpkin though.
So yeah. Also, the ending kind of just like it doesn't end in I don't know. The ending kind of just went. It's like he landed and then he tripped. Like doesn't make the landing less heroic, but it does. Like it almost didn't. It ended tonally a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Tonally, it ended a little bit weird. I'm like, you guys are this is an editing problem. This is not a film problem.
Yeah.
I think that's one note. Like the ending was edited slightly weird. That being said, Supergirl being a weirdo party girl and also explaining why Crypto the dog is so ill-behaved. It's because Crypto's her dog, and it's like the robots and it's good. In the pocket dimension. Lex Luthor literally has an army of monkeys with brain enhancement who are spreading Superman hate online.
Interesting choices there. Yeah.
Absolutely. But even with the thing I didn't like, I'd say an 8 or an 8.5. It has this is like a lot of the choices that were made. Some of the execution not perfect, but a lot of the choices that were made, I'm like, this is great. This is the right choice. This is good. Superman is Superman. Lex Luthor is Lex Luthor. Lois Lane is Lois Lane. The story, characters do things in the story that make sense in the story in the context of what is happening.
Yeah.
And it's a believable, like there's a lot, like Superman struggles a lot in this film. It's hard to make him believably struggle in a film. This film does it well. And he struggles. He has emotional problems. Like, oh, I'm not who I thought it was. I assumed my parents wanted me to be a benevolent servant of this planet, and that's not at all what they said. So he's betrayed by the public. He's betrayed by his friends. Lois implies that they could break up. He's physically and emotionally hurt, and you believe it and you feel it in the film. Yeah. And he still chooses to be who he is through all of that. It's very, very good. Very, very good.
So, I have the final results, Kahuna. I have them right here. I have
What do we got?
For those who have been still listening, I have the final results in our foolproof, obviously perfect review analysis here. Get ready, 7.9. So, you can be that as 79% out of 100%, which is not only passing, it floats, which means like
I would even say that it flies.
Yeah, It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a conspiracy about woke Superman.
This company is being bled like a stuck pig, Mac, and I got a paper trail to prove it. Check this out. Take a look at this.
Yep.
The characters look how the characters are supposed to look. So not even that stuff, not even like race swapping or anything. Genuinely, very, very good film. Did it live up to its highest potential? I think no. That excites me because Gunn is a good filmmaker. I think if they continue making films in this universe, they can do better, and I would love to see it. If you have been wanting good DC superhero films in theaters once again, support this movie. Support the vision that James Gunn has. Maybe you like the darker universe of Zack Snyder. I don't care. So there were some good Snyderverse movies, but they didn't come cohesively together. The way this is set up, this sets up a very clear path going forward. Slowly expanding the Justice League, adding more members. And it's a brilliant way to move forward. I think this is going to be a very, very good way to go. And I have hope. I believe in the vision that I've seen in this film. Has it reached its peak? Absolutely not. But this movie soars. When this movie is Superman being Superman, it absolutely blows me away. Very, very good film. High praise. See it in theaters. Best Superman film? No, but I have to consider it.
Yeah, it would be considered.
That's high. That's high praise for me.
Well,
to me, All-Star Superman, the movie, is still the best Superman movie, but that's a cartoon. It's not live action.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. For truth, justice, and the American specific way.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch Superman.
Yeah.
Woo!